Friends, hello, hope you are well. Let's dig into SoFi. What's going on? The Fed did a huge rate cut today. Middle of the road rate cut, but a great start to what is coming here all of 2025. So let's dig into SoFi. What's going to happen here? Can we actually still see $10 in the making here with SoFi? There's a lot to discuss here. So when the news broke here at 2 o'clock, as we were waiting, SoFi immediately, when it saw this rate cut at 0.5, it shot all the way to $8.50 for a split second and then started to sell back off. So that's a huge push. And then that's a lot of evidence right there that SoFi can maybe start to walk up to that, maybe even this week going into next week. So this Gibby, let's talk about this. These rate cuts. First one came out here today. We're expecting 2 more by the end of the year from what we're hearing, and then 4 more by next year. And what they're trying to do is get down below a 4-point rate cut into the 3s going into this time essentially next year. That's what Jerome Powell's come out and said today. So with that, this is great. This is great, and this is what we need for SoFi to run heavy here. SoFi has got everything else loaded. Like, SoFi has their quarterlies coming in very strong. Member count growing every quarterly as well. So with these new rate cuts, this is going to be great because we're going to be able to see people take loans, car loans, house loans, loans in general, just loans. And this is where SoFi will really start to generate more income. And what is that going to do? That's going to make bigger quarterlies going into the future here with SoFi. So saying that, I think this was a great cut. People thought they were going to do a 25 basis cut, and they did not. They went straight for the middle ground. Here's what happened today. Right here, 2 o'clock, like I said, these charts, they just skyrocketed. It actually went to $8.52, just a split of a second, and then mass sell-off. People had their sales in, and it just sold off. And this, we talked about this, I pretty much knew this was going to happen. It's still going to be hard for SoFi to get to $9 and $9.50. It's just going to be difficult because people have been sitting here and bag holding SoFi, and they just want to get out, and they don't care about the long term of SoFi. They don't want to wait. They don't care, and I can't blame them. It's been a long 4 years. But I do think if you can wait longer, this is where there is going to be greener grass on the other side of this situation right now. So SoFi, today we touched 850s. We have not been at the 850 mark in quite some time. Now with that today, we also had massive sell-off. I mean, we just look right here. I mean, my God, just massive sell-off. But SoFi closed out the day at a pretty strong pace. I closing around this 815 mark today. Still after hours playing around a 815, 817, maybe gonna close higher. Who knows? So with that, friends, here's kind of what I'm thinking here. If SoFi falls back to the 7s, I would not be surprised for a split second. Now, this week in the market, I don't think a lot of people know exactly what's going to happen. I think what it is happening right now in front of us is that everyone's looking at each other and going, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And obviously, Wall Street right now, big markets are wanting to shake people out. They're wanting to, big investments are wanting to shake the little investors out and get you caught and trapped right now. Like I said this last night in a video. I said, do not buy SoFi today at like $8.30, $8 or 40 cents, whatever you see it go to today. Do not start buying it. You're gonna get trapped. And that's exactly what happened today. So this is why it is so important to really watch what's going to happen here. What I do think is going to happen here, more than likely, if we do not see some kind of recession in this market, if we can avoid this recession, in which it's hard to say it's not going to happen, it's going to happen. No one knows. It's just no one knows. Obviously, the Feds are doing everything they can to not make that happen because there's still bad news out there. Let's be honest. Inflation is coming down. But the job reports, that's a bad thing. That is not good. And there's still, inflation is still a little high, but it is coming down. Not that I'm trying to take up for that situation whatsoever. So if we're going to see SoFi run here pretty good. It's probably going to be this week. It's probably going to be this week and going into the beginning of October. I honestly think the market is going to struggle towards the end of October because the market is uncertain right now of who is going to win this election. I mean, this is a neck and neck situation right now. And I'm going to say something. It's going to sound biased. I'm not trying to get political whatsoever. So please save your comments. But I want to speak on this, and that you need, if you're investing in SoFi, if you don't know, you need to know this little tidbit of information. So here is something that should excite you in what other big investors more than likely know right now. We see these rate cuts right now with SoFi. They're happening. It's pen and paper. It's going to happen. SoFi is going to react to every one of these rate cuts. It is going to react to them. It's going to move on them. Every time we see a rate cut, SoFi is going to have a really good day. It's going to have a really good week. We're expecting 2 more within months. Now, on top of that, what do we know? SoFi CEO came out just 2 months ago and said, hey, SoFi, we're betting on a Trump win. SoFi will do well under Trump regulations. He wasn't really endorsing Trump, but he was saying where Trump is wanting to go, SoFi will really, really do well under that administration. If Trump were to win, this would be essentially a dynamite situation for SoFi. We're having rate cuts. Inflation is going down. Job report, still not great. But then Trump wins. Rules change. This is what by December and January could make SoFi go into a $15 to $17 stock, and on a market run in January, because every time there's a new president inducted in January, the market goes bananas. So this is leading to the conclusion that SoFi could run really, really hard here in the next few months. So I do think these next couple months are going to be very up and down situation. I would not be surprised to see SoFi go to 830, back to 750, to a 750, back to an 815, to an 815, to an 850, and then back down to an $8.10 mark. It's going to be very up and down situation. But the thing that we can hold on to here and cling to, some good news, is that SoFi made it. SoFi made it. It's going to make it. It's going to be just fine. The hardcore stuff that we need to see with SoFi, it's been happening. A rock solid company with growth, quarterlies, subscribership when it comes to their bread and butter daily business of what they do. They've got it. They've captured the market. They're still capturing the market. Now we've got these rate cuts. We're starting to see inflation come down. If Trump were to win, SoFi has already said, hey, this is good for business for us, and this is going to really help us these next 4 years. Friends, this is how people become rich in the market. I just want to tell you that. This is where you see people have life-changing moments where you look back on this, 4 years from now, you can look back on this and go, oh my God, I'm so glad I did that. So what I will tell you is there's going to be plenty, these next 30, 40 days, there's going to be a lot of trading opportunity for you to take capital, buy back in, take capital, buy back in, and make a hefty position here in SoFi. But do know, when we start to see these rate cuts really start to seep into the market, and if we do see a Trump win here in November, SoFi is going to get pretty expensive pretty fast. We're done messing around here with SoFi. It has what it needs. It's been given the green light. The undervaluation of it has been seen. It's been talked about. People know it. This is the start of what is coming here with SoFi. Do not be surprised to see SoFi get very expensive here in these next few months. There's nothing holding it back at this point. Nothing. Friends, let's see what happens this week. I'm very excited. I do think SoFi has the potential to run this week. It has the potential. Like I said, I think everyone's just watching everyone, and everyone's going like, what are you doing? Are you buying? What are you buying? Are you going to sell? People have been backholding. People are scared. And yes, after rate cuts, there is a history of a sell-off, a recession, something. Are we going to see that? I don't know. But if we do, that's why it's important to have capital on hand and buy when that happens. happens. That's how people become rich in the market. When there's blood on the streets, when the stock market is just tore apart and everyone's telling you, oh, you're a moron for buying into the stock market. Well, that's the moment when you need to take that extra $100, $500, $1,000 and start putting it in the market. Friends, I wish all of you the best of luck this week. I really do mean that. This is going to be a moment to remember when we saw historical rate cuts come in. We got into SoFi and we held it. We held it for a long time and watched a company grow right in front of us. Friends, take care. Bye-bye.